Hey everybody, it's Haley. Welcome to my channel. Today we are going to be picking my April TBR for the month using my TBR jar prompts. Now, last month I picked some prompts out of here and I actually, let me see if I can grab them. I kept them out for this month. So all of the prompts that I had before, I took them out for now because I want to try to get through prompts that I haven't done. So once I get through more of these, I will add these back into the jar as options. But for now, I want to explore some different prompts. So I will be picking more prompts, excluding the ones that I picked last month, just to give some variety. So this is my updated TBR cart. Now these are all the books that are on my cart. I do have a couple of other books that I either have purchased on my Kindle or I think I have a couple that are on my shelf still. I know you can't see my whole shelf from here, but I will pull from those if I feel that they are needed. But for now, I'm going to try and keep it to the cart as much as possible, or my new Kindle books. These prompts are prompts I have found online or that I came up with myself, and so a bunch of them have different suggestions. Some are genres, some are just different like little prompts. You'll kind of see as we go through. If you've seen videos like this before, I know there's a lot of them around on BookTube. You might already kind of know what this looks like, but yeah, let's dive in and pick out my next month's reads. So we're gonna pop this open and reach in. I'm thinking this month I'm going to probably pull 5 prompts. Last month, and you'll kind of see in my reading wrap up, I was pretty busy in March, and I feel like 5 prompts is a good amount. It isn't too much where it's overwhelming, but it also gives me just a little bit of room to read maybe 1 or 2 other books that aren't in here if I need to pick something else. Just because I am such a mood reader, it's really hard if I pick so many that I'm just locked to my TBR. Now, last month, I did mention this, and I'm going to mention it again because I didn't make a whole ton of progress on this. It wasn't a huge focus, and I'm not forcing myself to read this in any specific time frame, but I am doing the tandem read of Empire of Storms and Tower of Dawn for Throne of Glass. So this will, of course, be on my TBR. It is not part of the prompts, though. These are just as I get to it when I feel like reading it. This is kind of where I'm at right now, if you can see where my marks are. So I'm not making a ton of fast progress. I may this month, but I'm not going to hold myself to it. So that's just something to keep in mind as well. So first prompt, let's go ahead and dive in. A couple of these are like stuck together, so I'm going to separate them a little bit before, let's go ahead and pull this one. I was just gonna say before pulling one out, but since this one just flew out of the jar, let's go ahead and do this one. This says a book with multiple POVs. So this would be a book that has dual POV in it, or just multiple POVs. Like Throne of Glass is a great example of one that has more than just 2. So let's see. A lot of these I don't know what the POVs are. So I'm gonna just pull some that I want to read, and I'll just see if they're dual POVs. So this was one that I read in February. I think I read the first book in the series in February, so 2 months ago, and I loved it, and I think it is dual POV. I would like to read it if it is. Okay, chapter 1 is dual POV because it flips between both. Oh, chapter 2. So what? Does it go back and forth in each chapter? Oh no, because chapter 3 is just 1. So this one's definitely dual POV. It's going back and forth like in 1 chapter even. Yeah, this is a dual POV. I may pull this one just because I really want to read it. These books, I read the first one in like 2 days. This one is just following another friend in the group, I'm pretty sure. It is in the All Saints series. This is Broken Night by LJ Shin, and it is about kind of this group of, I think they're high school students, not college. I'm pretty sure they're high school students, and it's just a kind of new adult romance. So I guess I will pick this one for my dual POV because I really want to read it, and it is dual POV. So that is book 1. Book 2, let's spread out some more. I was in the middle of doing that when that one fell out. Okay. I think I started with over 20 prompts, and I only did this last month, so there's quite a few left in here. Oh, this is hard. I don't know if any of these are on my card. An author with my initials. I may have to pick a different, like a book that's not on the list. Let's just look. BBLR CR. So my initials are HC. So there's a HB, JA, JB, KR, JH, JC. This is hard. Oh, KC. Huh. A. Darn. I don't think I have any books that fall under this like category. I'm trying to think. I don't have the same. I mean, the closest would definitely be Holly Black, because that's HB and I'm HC. This is HB, The Prisoner's Throne. This was a newer release this year. I don't know. What does that mean? Does that mean I need to go and like buy a book with my initials, or should I wait? And do I just say this is close enough? Let's hold off on this. Let's just set this to the side. I'm gonna set these to the side. Okay, we'll tackle that in a second. Let's go back in. That was probably like the hardest one I have in here, and of course I pick it. What else? Ooh, just a contemporary romance. That's actually a little bit difficult because I've been buying so many like fantasy, like Fan Row has been my thing recently. So contemporary romance. Let's look at what we've got. Wow, this is going to be incredibly easy. The one that's like jumping out to me is, Kid by Jessie Hall. I read Hawk by Jessie Hall, I think sometime last year, and I really enjoyed it. I loved Hawk. And so Kid is following along with, I think his name is literally Kid. They call him Kid. And he is Hawk's friend. And he, I know, struggles with addiction and some other things going on. And so this is his story. So this is definitely a good contemporary romance. The only other contemporary one I'm thinking of that's on my physical TBR is I do have the last book in the Devil's Night series, and I have read all the books but Nightfall. And so I'm debating, should I read Nightfall or should I read Kid? I don't know. I really want to read Kid, but I know I should probably read Nightfall just because I'm trying to finish that series. I read it all super quick, and then for whatever reason, I just didn't get to Nightfall. And I'm anticipating it a lot, but I think I'm gonna go with Kid. I don't know why. I think Nightfall is just because it obviously, Devil's Night series always is close to Halloween in the timeline of the books. I just don't know that I'm feeling it right now. Kid feels like much more, not spring, but it does seem a little more appropriate for this time of year. So we'll go ahead and do contemporary romance with Kid. That is 3 selections. So let's dive in again. What do we have? Okay, thriller / suspense. I don't know why, but I've been kind of buying a lot of thrillers. I haven't been reading a bunch of them, but I've been buying a bunch. And so there's a few that I kind of want to put into this list. Let's look. So I have this one, Then She Was Gone. I bought this book so long ago and I just never read it. This is interesting. So Then She Was Gone, it says, Ellie Mack was the perfect daughter and then she was gone. 10 years after Ellie's disappearance, her mother, Laurel Mack, is trying to put her life back together when she meets an unexpectedly charming man in a cafe, and before she knows it, she's meeting Floyd's daughters, and his youngest, Poppy, takes Laurel's breath away because The eerily precious Poppy is the spitting image of Ellie. Ooh. Oh, that's weird. I've seen this all over online, and I feel like maybe I should read this one. There is another one though that's like a suspense thriller. I think it's more suspense than thriller. It is Where You End, and this one I am really curious about. It's not the oh gosh, don't get stuck. Come with me. Here we are. It's not the longest book ever, and that's kind of nice sometimes. It is Where You End by Abbott Kaler. And so this book is about a girl. She loses her memory somehow. I don't remember how, but she loses her memory, wakes up in the hospital, finds out she has this twin sister, and she's kind of reliant on her twin sister to piece back all of the things about their lives that she doesn't remember. And her twin kind of takes it upon herself to basically spin their lives and tell her that there's all this stuff that happened and just that they've had these amazing lives that they haven't. And so then basically stuff starts happening that shows the twin with the memory loss that like your sister was lying. And so I think it's more of a suspense than a thriller, but it sounds really good. It's a new release this year, I think. I might be wrong on that. Maybe it's just a re-released cover. I'm not sure. But it's been on my list for a while, and I think I'm going to pull this one just because I've been really curious about it, and I don't normally love the whole like amnesia trope, but this one just seems really well done because the amnesia plays a huge role in the plot. You know when they do amnesia tropes and it just seems like why? You know, like why? We could have skipped this. We know what happened, the character knows what happened, like it just feels too annoying when it's in the middle of the book. This is like the whole book centers around the fact that you start knowing nothing and you get spun into this web, and it seems like you, the reader, are going to have to kind of filter through with her to figure out what's going on. And so I like that this seems like the only real appropriate way to have the amnesia trope is when it's done this way. In my opinion, it sounds so good. So I'm going to pull this one, and I think I'm going to draw one more before I figure out what to do with the initials book. A bunch of these are stuck together, so I want to like really see what's going on here. Okay, I'm going to just reach from the bottom. What is it? Oh, this one's pretty. I like this prompt. A book with a beautiful cover. Now, this one is very much so, I mean, it could be so many of the books on here. I feel like they all have really pretty covers. There's a few that jump out to me right away, so I'll pull those. Number 1, Powerless. I mainly say it's pretty because I waited to get the Barnes & Noble exclusive edition that had the pink flowers because I like the pink more than the purple, and I've definitely wanted to read this book, so that is a strong contestant. Let's see, I'm gonna say not, let's put these down here for now. Serpent in the Wings of Night does have a beautiful cover. I don't know if it's the prettiest one on my cart, but it is a pretty cover, and I do really want to read this series, so it's there. The War of Two Queens. Okay, I gotta say, can we just talk about this for a second? This cover, not just the cover, but the character artwork. I know the prompt says cover, I mean, bear with me for a second, but the character artwork in this book is 11 out of 10. 11 out of 10. So, I mean, is it the prettiest cover? Probably not. I'm kind of stretching it. One that is really pretty, I've heard super mixed reviews about this series, but I want to like it, is Broken Bonds by Jay Bree. I think this cover is beautiful. If I'm being honest, the cover is what drew me to this book series. Like, I didn't even think of the reviews until after I processed the cover. So this is definitely one that, I mean, I feel like no matter if you liked this book series or not, it's definitely got a beautiful cover. So there's that. This is, of course, I think it's a reverse harem. I'm not totally sure. I've heard this explained so many different ways, but basically, for some reason, this girl is bonded to someone in a kingdom. I'm very much so trying to go in blind to this, so I'm gonna just kind of bear with me on this. Her mom dies, and she is sure of everything would be okay if I had them, but I wasn't. The fate of our people is in my hands. I know we're better off if I'm alone. After 5 years on the run, oh yeah, that's right, she's running from the people that she's bonded to, or the person she's bonded to. So then basically these 5 guys have to go get her and bring her back. I don't know. It's not the prettiest, but it's definitely pretty. The last one that I'm thinking really fits in this is 1,000 Heartbeats. It's such a pretty cover. This is gorgeous. And even the back cover is gorgeous. I'm also motivated to read this because somebody commented on one of my videos, I think from last month, that they loved this book. And so that made me really want to read it because, you know, when you hear good things about a book, it obviously ups your drive to read it. At least it does for me. I love hearing good things about what I'm reading. And so this book definitely, I feel like, is a strong runner for this one. It's hard because there's so many beautiful covers that are on my cart. These two, I definitely say, looking at them side by side though, I mean, you're kidding. You're kidding. This is the clear winner, I think, as far as beautiful covers go. She stands out. Just look at it compared to the rest of the cart. It stands out. So we're going to go with this one, 1,000 Heartbeats. This is basically about a princess. She's lived like a super comfy life, it says. But she's going to be forced into a marriage for political gain. And there is a guy, Lennox, who devoted to his life to helping his people take back the throne that was stolen from them long ago. Oh, so it sounds like maybe like her royal family took over the land that his family used to rule. That's what it's sounding like. So then they somehow get thrust together. I don't know. It sounds good. And again, I heard a really good review, so let's go ahead and say this is our beautiful cover pick, and let's take a look at this. So these are the 4 for sures that I have. I have 1,000 Heartbeats by Kiera Cass, Where You End by Abbott Kaler, Kid by Jessie Hall, and then Broken Night by L.J. Shen. So definitely a wide range of books we have going on here. We have a cute little, I think this is a YA fan row. This is like a suspense, kind of more of like a darker contemporary romance. And then this is like a new adult kind of high school romance. So those 4, I'm really not sure. I feel like this is cheating. I feel like saying HB is close enough defeats the whole purpose. So let's go ahead and just toss this one back in. I don't have a book that fulfills this yet. I guess I could look on my Kindle, but I don't think I'm going to. I think I'm gonna just say this one will be done another time. I really want to pull from my cart, and I really want to stay true to the prompt. So let's throw this back on there, and let's just pick a different one for now. I don't know if that's like allowed, but I'm gonna say since this is my jar, my cart, it's allowed. So let's pick one more. Okay. Ooh, this is a good one. An author that I've never read. So a lot of the authors on here I have read before. And so this is one that I'm gonna kind of have to look at. Going through here. So I've read Holly Black. I have read Jennifer Armentrout. I think I've read Katie Roberts before, not in this series, but I think I've read a book from her before. Most of the ones down here I haven't read from them before. So what I'm going to say is for this prompt, the ones that stand out to me is again, Powerless, Lauren Roberts, Broken Bonds by Jay Bree, or Serpents in the Wings of Night by Carissa Broadbent. I don't think I've read any other books by her, but I'm really interested in them. This is hard. This is a hard one. A different kind of hard from the prompt that I just read. The other one was like, I don't really have a book that fits it. This one is like, I have like 4 that I'm staring at right now. I've heard, actually, this book has been interesting to me too. I've heard really good things about Neon Gods by Katie Robert, but I'm pretty sure I've read at least 1 or 2 books by her. So let's look at this. Powerless, Broken Bonds, Serpent of the Wings of Night. Those are like the 3 that I think I have to pick from on here that I really want to read. I'm going to keep it to the ones I really want to read because it'll motivate me to actually get to those books. So, if I had to pick one, I'm honestly, here's where I'm at. I'm debating between Powerless and Serpent of the Wings of Night, and I know both of those books have extremely positive reviews. I know both of them have extremely solid fan bases, and I don't think I could honestly go wrong with either of them. So it almost makes it harder to pick because they both sound so good. This is what I'm thinking though. Just bear with me. I know that the next book in the Powerless series, I think there's a companion novel coming out soon, but the next official one, doesn't it not come out till summertime? I kind of want to wait and read it closer to when that book comes out, just so I don't have to go back through and reread it or forget a bunch. Serpent and the Wings of Night already has the next book out. So that to me feels like I should read that one because if I love it, I can just go grab the next one right away, versus if I read Powerless right now, I'm in that waiting game. And I just read A Fate Inked in Blood, and let me tell you, I loved that book, and I will talk about it in my March wrap-up video, but man, does it make me not want to have to wait for another one if I really like a series. So I think I'm gonna pull Serpent and Wings of Night for this one, just because truthfully, I've wanted to read this series for so long. It's an author I've never read, but I've heard great things about. And so I really think this would be a good one. So let's review our prompts and picks. So author I've never read before is going to go to Serpent and the Wings of Night by Carissa Broadbent. I'm very excited about this one. So that is the first book. The next one, we have a book with a beautiful cover, 1,000 Heartbeats by Kira Cass. Love that. 2 really solid fan rows, I feel like. And then a suspense/thriller, Where You End, and this is by Abbott Kaller. A contemporary romance is going to go to Kid by Jessie Hall. And then I set this prompt here, a book with multiple POVs is going to be Broken Night by L.J. Shen. So that's that one. Here is the stack for April. It feels very April. I don't know why, but fan row feels very spring to me. I can't explain why, but it just gives that vibe. So these definitely feel like April books. This is just a cute, why did I say cute? Nothing about this book sounds cute. Sorry. A twin sister who lies to you about your life and then all this going on. Not cute. I don't know why I said that, but this, I guess I like the look of this book. It's a pretty book. The one that's Where You End. I'm excited to read it. Kid, I've wanted to read for a long time because I absolutely loved Hawk, so I'm very excited about that one. And then Broken Night is the sequel to the one that I just read not too long ago and loved. So this looks like a very promising TBR for April. I'm so excited to dive into these. And if you're curious about how my March TBR went, what I thought of those books, because I did stick to the prompts, I will do a wrap up for March, and that will probably be the very next thing you see posted. So stay tuned for that. I hope you guys have an awesome reading month, and share any recommendations that you may have so I can add to my TBR cart for next month. And also, if you have any thoughts on these books that I pulled for April, do share down below without spoilers if you can, so I can get some feedback before I start these, guys. I hope you have an awesome spring week ahead and enjoy. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.